Hi everybody, it's me, Bridge here, or Bridge Carson, aka the S.P.D Green Ranger. People may know me as the comic relief or the funny one of the S.P.D Power Rangers, or B Squad at one point. Let me talk about a little bit about myself. I have this disability, I guess if you could call it a disability, where anytime I say the word buttery, my fingers wiggle. And I like butter toast, I can't get enough of it. Toast happens to be one of my favorite foods to eat. You know, okay, because it's buttery and then my fingers move, but okay. But I have this ability that God gave me where I can read people's auras and I can determine if who's telling the truth, who's lying, who's being honest, who did what. Um, I've used this many times in the past on many episodes of Space Patrol Delta. Okay, let me talk about how I became a Power Ranger, or SPD agent, whatever you want to call it. I originally went to Space Patrol Delta to become an SPD agent. Space Patrol Delta is a division of the United States Department of Homeland Security. It was formerly known as Lightspeed Rescue at one point, before it was transferred from the Department of Defense to the Department of Homeland Security. There was the A Squad, and one day we were bumped up to B Squad by the head of Space Patrol Delta, Anubis Doggy Kruger, who had been there for some time. And we were not really sure why we were bumped up. We were bumped up to be support for A Squad. But when A Squad went missing, we were then sent in to be the main support. And we arrested a lot of Grum and Bootling's criminals, henchmen. We arrested these and eventually arrested Bootwing and Grum himself. We protected New Tech City many times from different threats. After we finally were able to arrest Bootling and Grum and defeat the Truvian for good, Jack Landers retired. Jack was he was great. I mean, he was probably one of the best Red Rangers we ever had. And he and I eventually got his place, and I was appointed as the new SPD Red Ranger. But that would happen later. What are some of my best moments as being SPD Green Ranger? I would happen to say tagging up and meeting the Dino Power Rangers on two different occasions. Once when they came to the future, and once when we went back to the past, but somehow I don't remember somehow I'm not supposed to remember all that because we all got zapped. So apparently we have no memories of it. But someone showed me a tape once and said, Bridge, remember when you teamed up with the Dino Rangers? Yeah, Bootwing brought the Dino Rangers to the future, and we teamed up with them to defeat Bootwing. And then Grum went back in the past, so we had to go back in the past to help them defeat Grum, so that's how it happened twice. Then, years later, and Fally Birdie resigned as Supreme Commander of Space Patrol Delta, and the Space Patrol Delta Board of Directors, I guess you could call it, or Supreme Command. Uh, then eventually over time, President Barack Obama appointed Nubis Kruger as the new Supreme Supreme Commander of Space Patrol Delta after the Senate and House of Representatives confirmed it and approved it. Then after that, they had to name a new commander, so President Obama appointed Bridge Carson as the new commander of Space Patrol Delta, but that was after the Senate and the House of Representatives approved it. Then years later, I was sent back to the past again, by this time by Power Rangers Command. I was a volunteer but technically Space Patrol Delta, just like Lightspeed and Time Force, were independent and not controlled by Power Rangers Command, but I chose to go back, so I went back with the Black Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, the Wind Ranger, the Dino Yellow Ranger, and the Mystic Force Blue Range. Blue Green Ranger. Okay, whatever. Okay, So the point goes, yeah. So I did a lot of good, and a lot of people do remember me as the funny one of Space Patrol Delta. A lot of people tend to have mixed emotions of Space Patrol Delta. Some say it was too much of a serious show and there wasn't enough funny things going on in it. Others say that it was one of those midpoint shows, one of those ones where Disney was trying to make Power Rangers a more serious show. Well, that might be true and it might not be true. But anyway, Space Patrol Delta would probably be one of those shows that people have mixed feelings on. That's it. Umbridge, aka the S.P.D. Green Ranger. But in the future, I'm also the S.P.D. Red Ranger, so it's kind of confusing. That's it. See you later.